All right, here we go. There, we better? We good? What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, y'all gonna get all this space today. All right, all right. I'm here for my ladies. Are you here for the ladies? You here for the ladies? Yes, yes. So look through for your email. I appreciate all the compliments. Thank you. You like the little red lip, the big head. We gonna do the big head today, y'all. Anyway, all right. So I'm here. I was not supposed to be hosting this. You are supposed to be seeing La Jones right now, but I gave my girl the night off, so I'm here. And pieces, I've heard all the pieces. Yeah, I don't think y'all ready. So, why waste time? I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. Okay. All right. All right. So first up to bat, Indiana, Indianapolis. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's
I'm
good
out here
to
on the
see
patio
you.
just for you. I wasn't gonna do it out here since we
I'm
talked
just
about
saying.
it mic check. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit out here. This feels like my poetry space anyway. This is where I'm just supposed to do it. So.
And see, I was just getting ready to say, based on the last performance from Quarantine CitySeries, yeah, that's your element right there. So
this is my element. I can't mess with
your
it.
element. We're gonna put you in your element. I love it. I love it. And I mean, the last time you were there, it was like you practically burned the place down anyway. So why not bring you back? Yeah, somebody again. Angie said that's your sanctuary. Right?
Hey, yeah, it's my place. See, I'm a little more chilled. I was standing up angry last time. Now I'm chill. I'm sitting down. I was mad. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm about cool.
You had some things to get off your chest last time.
Say.
Nature, you're calmer.
I got it out.
Good play. Good. You're good. Okay, you're good. All right. Well, that's good. Well, listen, had to bring you back. A little background with Dallas is she performed at one city series, and that was in New York. That was in like the historic one. That was the one at the New Eurekan. We never got to, go to another city series together. I never got her to hear her perform again. And she made it to Quarantine CitySeries in May and absolutely blew us away. She, unbeknownst to her, her poem has been seen at many poetry parties. I should say you've performed at many poetry parties without you knowing it because of that video, right? All right.
Exactly. In my sleep. I'm that skilled.
In your sleep. In your sleep. So anyway, had to have you back for Ladies Night, and I know you're going to bring some amazing fire to our show tonight. So give us a little bit of input on what you're going to be doing tonight.
Okay, well, like I said last time, I was angry. If anybody remembers, I did a piece called Dime Piece, and it was about basically boys are icky, so I decided this time around, I was like, okay, I don't always think boys are icky. Sometimes boys are nice. So sometimes boys are nice. So I did a piece about a guy and when a guy is good and how he makes you feel and how you just want to have, when a guy is good and when you're feeling him and when you're into him, you want to look for any opportunity that you can to talk to him or about him, any opportunity. So title is called Daisy Covered Pancake. It's going to make sense.
Okay.
Like what? Yes. Daisy, like the flower, daisy covered pancake, like the food. Yes.
All right.
It's going to make sense.
All right. The floor is yours.
William Shakespeare had a unique fascination with pancakes. He liked them so much, in fact, he often found reasons to write about them in his plays. The daisy is actually one of the most diverse flowers with over 23 different species that have been discovered and recorded. A polar bear is actually jet black. Its fur is translucent and reflects visible light, which in snowy and Arctic conditions only make it appear to be white. Estimated in the United States, more than 1 million people know how to ride a unicycle, but less than 400,000 use them regularly. To the average person, these facts may seem random and appear to have no significance, but to me, they're all about you. See, anyone can compare someone to a love song, but yours is a beauty and a strength and a power so magnetic to me that I can see you anywhere. In fact, if you throw me the most random items and I look at them long enough, I'm sure that somehow it'll remind me of you. You are a daisy-covered pancake. Like Shakespeare, I'm always looking for opportunities to write about you, your ins and outs, your personality, and the way you look at me. It reminds me of a daisy. All 23 different ways your eyes communicate with my entire being without ever even having to open your mouth. In fact, if I could, I would bottle your stare and market it. Sell it to the masses on every small town billboard and every corny infomercial, just so that every man knows exactly how a woman needs to be looked at. You are a polar bear on a unicycle. I'd gladly go blind simply to spend a moment in the way your light reflects on my spirit. You make my darkest days feel brighter, to the point where no one can even see the root of my anxieties, where they begin, not even myself, because I'm radiating in the glow of your reassurance. And like a unicycle, millions of men know how to verbalize their feelings, but so many choose not to put that ability into practice. They stay silent, thinking we're just supposed to know that because you're still here, you think we're special. Since when has time developed the ability to talk? How can what you're thinking come out if you don't unlock the door every once in a while? Just because we are made up of your rib, it does not give us the ability to read your minds, to understand your heart. But with you exercise your ability effortlessly. You ride your unicycle with a master's precision, always keeping balance, left arm outstretched with empathy, holding my secrets safe and secure. You are my diary. Right arm stands strong, ready to communicate, to confront, correct, confess, and yes, at times even be comical. You are my friend. See, anyone can compare someone to a love song. But if you throw me the most random items and I look at them long enough, I swear, somehow, they'll remind me of you. Thank you.
Girl. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was absolutely beautiful. You started that poem stating these facts, and then you went into a descriptive, talk about how unique and how rare and how awesome that love is, and how that's something that you cherish. Why did you start off with the facts?
Because it was going to make people pay attention, like, what in the world is she talking about? Which was the point of how, when you feel someone and it's like, what can I say so that I can find a way to bring him up, because I just want to talk about him. So it's just like random facts that come up, like, how is she going to inculcate this in a poem about a guy? It was kind of a play on the fact that I was going to perform it to capture people's attention. Like, what does this have to do with, what does a daisy covered pancake have to do with a guy? Well, it's the fact that I can look at anything and think about, like, oh, it reminds me of him. So, that's the point.
And the unicycle would come back a few times throughout that poem. The polar bear on
my favorite.
Like,
it was just because I looked up random facts. How I got to this stuff, I was like, okay, if I really want to make it genuine, I was like, let me just close my eyes and just think of like the most random stuff that I can think of. And the first thing I thought of was daisy covered pancake. So I'm like, all right, let me just Google the first random stuff that comes up about a pancake. And it was about William Shakespeare, the thing about daisies. And then I'm like, okay, let's do it again. Let's think about two random things again. And I'm like, polar bear on a unicycle. And so I just Googled it, because it's true. I'm like, okay, how can I inculcate this into that? I'm like, I know, like, looking at the facts, it was easy, because when you really want to talk about someone and you can really see someone and their qualities in anything, that's the point. So
that was so smart. And it was like you painted so many like visual pictures that we could actually see it. Like, of course, I'm actually thinking about a polar bear on a
On a
unicycle.
unicycle.
I just loved it so much, and I think you sent me the text of it, so now I'm gonna have to go back and read it again and again. And yeah, that was definitely an instant favorite. So I love it. So please stick around because I think we want to bring you back to try and do a second piece.
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready. If I get called, I'm ready.
we're gonna try to be on time and be well behaved tonight. I can't make any promises, but we're gonna try.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dallas.
Bye.
All right, bye. So she will also be performing at the Quarantine City Series Part 2. As a matter of fact, the first 5 poets that you saw on July 31st, they will all be a part of it. And definitely Dallas will. All right. So let's see. Now I messed up the lineup the last time. So I think it's Stacee. Am I right, ladies? Is it Stacee next? Because I don't have the lineup in front of me. Sorry. I got my wine though. I remembered that. I know it's not. I think it's Stacee. Let me go ahead and bring my girl in. Stacee, all the way from.
Hello, lovely. Nadas.
Please let me get it right. Please let me get it right, because I totally screwed up the last time.
You know you picked the wrong one if we're gonna behave.
Oh yeah.
You picked the wrong one. Because I don't behave.
Neither do I. See, you caused that to, I be trying to be good, but then, you be amping me up and stuff.
Because I like amped up nadas. I love it.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way. My name is Esme, but Stacee calls me Nadas. Now, can you explain to the people what Nadas means?
Okay, so there was a period of time, it must have been like a decade ago. Like it's been a minute. But
I need a drink for this story.
Where it's okay. I got mine too. Where Tiffany was making empanadas for everybody. It was like every day we were seeing something about empanadas. And I decided, because she is queen of world famous empanadas, that her name was gonna be Nadas. I pretty much give everybody a nickname, and that just happened to be yours, and it is stuck so close to my heart ever since.
Because all these years later, you still call me Nadas. And
it's so weird to say Esme. It's so weird. It just doesn't sound like I'm mad if I call you Esme.
I know. There's some commentary in the comments about the empanadas. Some of them have had.
They were business. That's what I heard. I'm still waiting on mine.
Don't worry, your time is coming. I promise.
Okay.
I still make nadas. I do.
Good.
I got you, girl. All right. Okay. So, Stacee. Stacee. I've known you for over a decade. You've performed on many of our stages. You were at the world famous New Eurekan. You are an amazing poetess. Some of us got to witness that at the Quarantine City Series because you came in with this beautiful piece about your king, and I loved it.
My king.
It was amazing. It was the right tone. It was we felt it. We felt every piece of you. And that's what you do when you perform. You make sure that we feel every piece of you. And so we love every time you're around. When you're ready to perform, a lot of people are saying I've brought them out of retirement. I'm good with that.
For sure.
You needed to come out of retirement.
I clearly did.
You did. You needed to. I'm not even going to take credit for it. Let's just give coronavirus the credit. Let's give them the credit.
It needs credit for something positive, huh?
Yeah, give them something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's giving us back some stuff.
Something, right?
So Anyway, give us a little input on what it is that you're going to be doing today for your first piece.
Okay. So, like you said, I needed to come out of retirement. And that's really hard for me because immediately I was like, okay, so what can I perform? Never do I tell you no, right? I never tell you no, but I never know when I'm actually going to perform.
Not one time.
I don't like to go back. I never like to perform the same thing twice. But I was freaking out because it had been so long since I wrote. And of course, every time you go through a phase like that, you're like, do I still have it? Can I still do this? Does this still belong to me?
Right.
So that's kind of what this is about. This was kind of about my struggle in finding something. And then kind of like just, it was my breakthrough in finding something for this.
Okay, good enough. So, you want to give us a title, or you just want to go ahead and go in?
It is called Spoken Word.
Hey, that's a good title.
It fits. It really does.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Not all my poems sound like spoken word. Some don't rhyme or have no rhythm, but they roll off my soul like a heavy stone made of sedentary emotions fused together with the silence of self-consciousness and stress. Some of them don't even make sense. They sound like screams released into the forest for the trees to know that they're not the only ones who can't be heard when falling. We're the same, the trees and me. Sometimes my poetry sounds like the ramblings of a lovesick fool just hoping for an ounce of reciprocity, taking advantage of the fact that they can see the light shine behind the eyes of their beloved, but never really knowing what it feels like to be loved, never knowing what it feels like to have someone's soul sing their name in a love language the same, because no one loves quite like me. No one really knows what it feels like to have a pain so deep. Basically, what I'm saying is not all my poetry sounds like spoken word. Some of it doesn't even sound like poetry. Some of it sounds like the incessant soliloquy of the things that pass through my mind, the place where no one's looking, the place where everything is anything but calm. There's a storm a brewing, and the thunder is a song, and the lightning is a line, and the rain is incessantly beating against my notebook until it's swimming in the tears I was saving for my pen. Sometimes my poetry sounds like sin, so open and raw and imperfect. It doesn't even try to hide the naked truth from anyone's eye as it rises to the surface of me and strips my throat sore with honesty. Nothing like that can sound like spoken word, but I write it because to keep it is to be chained to the saddest part of me for eternity, carrying my millstone into the sea of my desperation until the seabed splits my feet and I can no longer see the surface. I can no longer see my purpose. I can no longer see a purpose, and that is a desperate place to know. So, not all my poetry sounds like spoken word, but I speak it. So and so.
I can't, standing ovation. Act like she never left.
It's my love. We talked about this. It really is just that same, it's my clothes, it's my identity. And alive.
So when this happens, like when you wrote this, were you coming from a place where you're like, okay, I don't know what to write about, so I'm just going to just start writing and see where this goes? Or was it a collection of ideas that you had already had and you just needed to kind of put it together? Because I know that I've written something where the first line was, I have nothing to write. And that ended up being the name of the poem. So how did this start? And when did it start?
So if I'm being honest, when we talked a couple days ago, I hadn't written this poem.
Now, Vanessa, she did one just like that too. And it's like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I was stressing out because again, like I said, I couldn't figure out what to write, and I'm wanting to make sure that I give my CitySeries family exactly what they deserve, which is everything. And I want to be able to perform it for you. I don't want to feel like I'm not feeling it, so I have to read it. I try to keep my hands free and not read and everything. But to do that, I have to write something that I feel. And the only thing that I could feel was, I don't have anything that sounds like spoken word. I don't have anything that I can share that doesn't sound like just raw emotion. And don't nobody want to hear that. And from that came this. It was like, I can't hide that. I can't keep that a secret because it will eat me alive.
Yeah.
So let me just give that to my family. I think they'll understand. And I hope y'all do.
Clearly we do, because that was amazing. I think that it speaks for all of us, because especially those of us who have performed and who do write from time to time, it's like life happens. This is what I was telling you guys, and I was telling somebody else recently. Life happens, right? Yeah. So 10 years ago, we're all on top of it. We're all like, man, the next one, I'm going to write it. I'm going to do it. It's going to be big. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. We knew there was always something coming, right? But when life happens, it's like some things take a back seat. And then you get to realize that it was always there all along. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just circumstance that brings it out. Because here we are, we're stuck at home. This is a sad time. We don't have each other to fall back on.
Right.
We better tap into it.
Find something.
Otherwise, like you said, I mean, you fall to the bottom of the sea, you ain't gonna find your purpose. You better find it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I love it. See, we behaved. We were good.
We did.
Wait, you coming back again though, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well, I ain't gonna make no promises then neither. Nope. So. Love you, boo.
Love you.
Hang out. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
All right. Yo, that was amazing. That was amazing. Stacee, she always brings heat. Always, always, always. All right. Now, this young lady here, originally in the DMV area, now residing up in the Connecticut area. This beauty here, y'all just don't know what kind of happiness I feel having her in this presence. You just don't know. Y'all just don't know. I have already expressed all these feelings to her. So she's well aware. But some of the most memorable performances at several shows, she's another one that life happens, good things in life happen, but it just doesn't go away. It's there,
They type it in the comments.
It's just, and it's like me and others come finding her and come clawing through the mud. Where is she? And here she is. Tiffany, thank you so much for being a part of our evening. I'm just so excited. I was supposed to be a spectator, and now I get to actually talk to you again, because we just talked the other night, but I get to talk to you again. I get to look at you and I get to hear your words. just amazing, just amazing. So like I said, some of the most memorable pieces over the years, and we had good times. I mean, you know, I think that City Series had a great purpose. I think that it was something that we can always look back on fondly. But I think that the goal was always to inspire and encourage. And I think that that's probably what brought City Series out of retirement. So if City Series can come back out of retirement, I guess our pens can, our minds can, our hearts can, because we're just, you know, going through it right now, you know?
Absolutely. So many of us are going through so much, and it's not, you know, some are going through it in a very physical way, losing family members, but some are going through it just losing their minds. You know, this is something that I think many thought we wouldn't have to face until we actually met with the trip. So,
Right. I mean, like, is this, you know, I think some people were starting to wonder, was this the Great Tribulation? We're like, calm down. Calm down.
I know we skipped some steps, but is this it?
We'd be like, man, we just be waiting. We'd be like, what? Did they say pieces? What? Calm down. Everybody calm down. But no, it's just so good to see you. I know that you have, since the end of City Series, you have since gotten married. You are serving in Haitian Creole up in the Connecticut area with your lovely husband.
Mm-hmm.
One day I hope to meet him in person. You know, but I'm just so happy that you were able to be a part of this tonight. And some of these folks here that, you know, were not in the City Series, you know, beginnings, may not remember you, but she is definitely a vet, and had to have her tonight. So just so happy that you're here. All right, so that's enough sentimental. You know, I was getting sentimental with La on the first one too. I be getting sentimental. I be like, let me stop, because I'm getting emotional.
No,
so anyway,
let me tell you one thing I remembered from the New Yorican.
yes.
I was going back and looking at a different copy of that poem, and at the very end, when I stepped off stage, you said, "That's my sis," and I was like, "Yes,
Yes. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. And I remember you from the DC City Series, even though you didn't perform.
you do
I
remember?
you.
Wow.
I remember you. I remember you. And I was so excited when you came to Memphis. I was like, she's coming to Memphis. You know, it was so exciting. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Give us a little input into what you're gonna do for us tonight.
Well, I did say during sound check or mic check, it was going to be about a plant. My point
Yes.
song was going to be about a plant. I'll shout
Yes.
out. This is my prayer plan. I told you I was going to bring it. It's praying right now. It's actually gone to bed already.
Okay.
So
that's why all the leaves are together?
exactly. So these two have yet to go up, but all the rest of them are typically down like that. So this is my prayer plant that my friend Drea got us.
You're actually holding it and showing it.
Yeah, because that's what she did to me. So there we go.
Wow.
So,
okay. Well, those who didn't see sound check, she has a fear of plants. I'm really, this is like a breakthrough. I'm really proud of you.
Lauren said she had one. Lauren, this plant freaked me out. I was up at 4 a.m. in the morning checking on this plant, making sure it wasn't about to creep upstairs and try to come get us. Like, I literally sent a picture to Nessa and to my friend, like, yo, this joint is creepy. And it starts to pray early, so it doesn't even wait till we go to bed. At like 6 a.m., it's already starting to pray.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't have a fear of plants, but that would freak me out.
So,
but, you know, thank you, friend, for the gift. But man, that's crazy. I ain't never heard nothing like that.
So this poem, I know, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of us are really just going through it, being in the house, and you know, excuse me, please, but I do feel like at times we can be very spoiled because we're given so much. And I just hope that this poem is a reminder of just how rich we are. You know, like I grew up with less and without, but I love, my mom used to sing the song Summertime to me when I was young. And I love to say about Jehovah, you know, my daddy's rich and my mother's good looking, you know? And so it's something that we have to remember, you know, about the organization that we have the privilege to be a part of. So
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm ready when you are.
okay. My faith has paved a way for me to serve God unswervingly. He whispered, "Here's the way. Now listen to what you've heard from me." My father said he loves me. For God loved the world so much, I can remember the line, but am I out of touch with what it meant for me when he sent for me? For with this undeserved kindness, I have a ministry. And further than that, I have a legacy. So I work hard to safeguard my mind and my heart, and from the narrow road I will not to depart, spreading seed on the way, though the soil may be hard, knowing Jah will make it grow if I. Our time and our tears is what we're watering with to carry the load, no matter how heavy the lift. Hard work is the water we refresh ourselves with. Think you don't like the taste, just please take a sip. For the yoke is kindly and the load is light if you don't live blindly and you love what's right. Jehovah's thoughts are so precious, but our thoughts are so treacherous. A traitor to betray me. So I pray, cause me, teach me, make me. Do not you gaze at us or be amazed at us. Do not stare at us as if we're not flesh and dust. To love Jah the most and stay loyal is a must. And as for the drawing close, it requires more than trust. It's not by our power that we've been made to walk as we go down the road to preach and teach and talk. We must continue the search and the preaching work and give of our hearts no matter how much it hurts. We're blessed by Jah above for imitating his love. No good man is lost because we're bought at great cost and encouraged by men, but we know who's our God. Don't have to look at the sky and blindly wonder why, or what's the purpose of life, or why am I alive? We look to the promise. It's a deed that's guaranteed if we stay honest. And if our eyes stay bright, though through this world we may fight, we finish the course because it means their life. So we teach them to stand firm. Grant us boldness as we witness is the prayer for which we yearn. It means our own lives as well. For by this work he saved us, a confidence that will not fail.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Some was it Ben Tim? He said spiritual bars. Yes, spiritual bars. Like, you know what? This is what I'm talking about though. Like that poem is so necessary right now, even though you didn't write it for the pandemic. Tell them when you wrote it. not for why, but when.
It's been 2 years now. Almost 2 years to the day. Yeah.
And it was meant as an encouraging poem. It was meant as something that you know would stick with you, you know, if you heard it. And it's gonna stick with you right now. But it's like, how did you know that we would need that poem in 2020? Like, how did you know?
You know, it's funny, and some people are making mention of it, but it's like what my husband's aunt, after I shared it with her, she had shared that she appreciated it, and she was asking for a copy, and I said, you know, what might be beneficial is if I go through and look at all of the Bible verses that I borrowed from for that poem.
Yeah.
And when I did it, I found over 30, like line by line.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool to me because I was like, oh wait, I know a little something. Okay.
Oh my goodness. And it's like, yes, you can hear it because every so often you would say something and it would be like, you know how you're listening to a talk and or going over an article and they give you like a reference scripture, like you'll say something and then you'll just reference the scripture. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, so that's what that means, you know? And then you put that in. People were talking about your voice inflection, which is a signature part of your poetry. Always has been. They're saying biblical bar. They just say, you know the word. Listen, use the word right now, okay? That's going to be something that I'm going to have to go back and listen to, kind of like I go back and listen to Push from Hostage. It's kind of like, you know, I need that because, you know, we're not in the normal preaching work. We're not going to our regular meetings. We're not getting the benefit of the interaction and the association. This is really breaking us down.
Yeah.
But we're finding ways to get through it. And one thing I've said, and I'll say it over and over again, is that nothing has changed when it comes to our spiritual routine. Nothing has changed.
Say it.
Go to your meetings, get up and go in service. You know, do what you're supposed to be doing. Just do it at home.
And I really just appreciate you saying that, just in reference even to our conversation the other night about how they're preparing us, and the ways they're preparing us is do what we told you to do all along. And it made me whatever point of scriptures we have written for you thus far, pray, right. Go out in your ministry. This is what we've been told to do.
Do what you're told to do. And that's it. And you got this, you know? So yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. You gonna stick around? We're gonna get another one?
Stick around.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Awesome. All right. So we have a little bit of time. So I think we're gonna try to bring in Angie. So we will do that now. All right. Let's see if I can bring in my girl. There she is. Okay. Mariposa.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see and hear me okay?
You are sideways, but I can see you if I do this.
I don't know how to fix the camera. Huh? He can hold it for me.
He can hold it?
Yeah.
Is it a computer or is it a phone? Is it a tablet?
It's a phone.
It's a phone? Yeah, you just have to stand it up. That's all.
Okay. It's all right. I can do it this way.
You sure?
Yep.
Listen, I'll look at you sideways. I don't care, girl.
No, I don't want you to look at me sideways. It's full.
Okay. Now. I don't want to look at you sideways either, but see, Hostage.
Hold on one second. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I can see you now.
Yeah. Just like
I can see your beautiful face.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. How are you?
You've been a little nervous this week. I don't know why. You're a vet. Look, this is child's play. What are you talking about? Listen, I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. The last time when I did it, I was sick to my stomach the whole day.
Yeah.
So I understand, but that's just those nervous jitters that, you know, you're familiar with them. You're a seasoned poet, so you know what that's like. All you have to do is just use that energy, because this is, girl, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. I've been on my tippy toes in the edge of my seat waiting for this. First of all,
come out of retirement for this.
Listen, everybody's coming out of retirement. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. First of all, welcome. I am so excited that you're a part of this. I don't think it could have happened without you. I first met you in 2010, even though I'm convinced I met you back in the 90s. Because we were definitely at the same parties, I'm convinced. But, you know, I officially met you guys in 2011, actually, but I knew of you guys before that. And, you know, what could be doper than a poetic couple? I mean, you know, you and Hostage are just probably lots of people's favorite couple for many reasons. You know, it's a combination of who you guys are, how you guys are together, and the fact that you guys can be sweet and spiritual and savage and petty all at the same time, and we're here for it. We're here for it. Because when I need the savage and the petty, I'm like, my girl will understand. She got me. She got me. I'll say whatever I gotta say to Angie. Angie got me. We're here. We're here.
And he's used to the crazy Puerto Ricans for many years, so.
So he already knows where I'm coming from. He knows. He knows.
That's right.
So I love it. I mean, you know, we've been friends ever since, and you know, we just love you guys. I hate that you were not at more CitySeries before everything ended, but here we are. We're back. Life brought CitySeries back, and we're here. So you've always been part of our family, and so this had to happen. We had to have you here then. So give us a little bit of an input, an idea of what you're going to be doing.
Okay, so this.
Okay, hold on. I got somebody saying that they can't hear you.
Okay, let me just 1 second.
Now,
you gotta turn off the AC. It's gonna get a little hot in here, but that's
the
okay.
AC. Okay. Do you have maybe an earpiece that you can put in that we
Yes.
can hear you better? We need to hear you. Hi, everyone. For those of you that are just joining. Say something.
Okay, is this better?
So much better.
Okay.
So much better. Everyone give me a thumbs up if you hear her better.
Is
Say
it better?
something, Angie.
Better? Hello, testing, testing, testing.
Everybody hear her better? Well, okay, I got one thumbs up. I gotta wave. Mine, I was looking for thumbs up. All right.
Okay, okay,
We
great.
got thumbs up. We can hear you good now.
Okay.
All
So
right, cool.
this piece, I had to go searching like Stacey and other people for content and things. And this is one like Jillian talked about that came to me at 2 a.m. And it's not about being proud of being Puerto Rican or anything like that. It's about the struggle I had trying to relate to other Puerto Ricans in the school that I went to. I grew up in Centralized. Yeah, oh, you sound Italian. Oh, why do you talk like that? You know, so this is just about that. Yeah, thank you. Kanaya is holding my phone because the other setup was just, yes.
Okay, that's okay.
Best laid plans. But anyway, and it just talks about me being comfortable with who I am, and if other people aren't, it's all good. I know
well.
me. Yes.
I know me. I am me.
Yeah, so there's a little Spanish in here too, but it's called
Okay.
It's called Identity Crisis.
Okay, cool. Ready.
I miss my grandparents. I was fortunate enough to have all 4 of them till my mid-30s. I the land. I haven't been there in 1,460 days. See, Abuelo worked the sugarcane fields. Abuela embroidered garments. 1 cow, 2 goats, 2 pigs, family of 6 under a zinc roof and an outhouse. Mom said they didn't know they were poor. Hopes of a better life brought mis abuelos to the mainland, where racism reigned supreme. My mother still hates West Side Story because she lived that. Maria was really Russian, Bernardo Greek. Rita was the only Puerto Rican in the whole production besides the gang members, but she got the EGOT. We were taught to be ladylike, unlike J-Lo, legs pinned together, unlike Halftime Show. I was raised old school, taught to never settle or conform to stereotypes. Abuela would never have that. Rise above, she taught us. The kids at school didn't understand my dialect. Daughter of immigrants, parent held back for not speaking English, so I wasn't allowed to use slang. I called walking dictionary. My vernacular foreign to them, told I sound white, as if proper sentence structure and grammar has a race or color. hair too straight, skin too light, frame too slight. I was never Puerto Rican enough for the Puerto Ricans. I thought you were Italian, they'd say. Even though I can speak Spanish, make amazing pernil, arroz con gandules maduros y pastelillos, Afro-Latina. Soy boricua, de la isla de encanto, arecibeña, jíbara de islote, con la playa en mi alma. Mi gente me conocen, no me niegue mi historia, which is threefold. Taína, African, and Spanish.
Right there.
Funny how everybody always boasts about their Spanish roots, denying all that Africa brought to the table. But check what's cooking in your pot. Instead, you're tripping over your Ancestry.com results. Sounds like Stockholm Syndrome to me. I flash back to the first time that I brought my future king to my homeland. I couldn't wait to introduce him to mis abuelos, show him la cueva del indio, el yunque y el morro, las palmas de abuelito. 4-hour flight, hour-and-a-half drive by rental car, only to stand outside my paternal grandfather's house like the dogs, becoming bait for mosquitoes, not being invited in or offered a drink in the hot Caribbean sun. They said they didn't know we were coming. Mentiras. But I anxiously await God's kingdom to remove borders and prejudices because I know my kingdom's citizenship is my true identity. It seems like I'm not the one with the identity crisis, but more like people having a crisis with my identity.
Girl, if you don't tell the story.
Our people are the worst.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having a moment.
Oh.
I'm having a moment.
I know you know, because I see your husband and you see my husband and you see our family that has rainbow shades.
If you didn't tell the truth in everything you said, talking about you have Stockholm Syndrome from your Ancestry.com results, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So you've been like, oh, I don't know what to write. I'll just write a little something. I mean, that was amazing.
Thank you.
That was amazing. That was so honest. As a Puerto Rican that has gone through all of that growing up in the Bronx, always dealing with, I'm not Puerto Rican enough for the Puerto Ricans, like you said, Puerto Rican people making fun of me because I wasn't speaking the language well enough.
Oh, yeah.
My mom even would like come down on me if I didn't like certain foods, like, you're not even a Puerto Rican, like it was always something that it's like you had to fill some kind of a category. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we're already such a gumbo of all these cultures, like you mentioned, African, European, Taino, Indian, like we're such a gumbo, a combination of so many cultures that it's like we don't have anything but to be not confused, but inclusive. Our identity is just not going to be cut and dry like everybody wants it to be. Girl, you spoke on that.
Thank you. Thanks. Because everything we cook comes from Africa, and that's why it makes me laugh. It's like, you don't make tapas in Puerto Rico.
No. We don't make tamales in Puerto Rico.
No. No. And even empanadas, people don't know that we don't call them empanadas in Puerto Rico. It's pastelillos. Pastelillos. Everybody else calls it empanadas. It's the same thing. Yeah. But, it's interesting how you're different if you aren't born there. You're different if you don't live there. That's why they call me Americana.
Yeah. When I heard you say that yeah. They ended up calling you Americana. And then here you bring your husband to these roots. Really a crazy thing. And I wish that, I think you spoke to it. I understand it completely. So I'm sitting here like, trying to hold my commentary in during the poem because everything you're saying is just so real. And, you've always wrote from a real place.
Thank you.
We've had conversations about the places you write from. And they're always just honest, just extremely honest, you know, so I love it. I know that we're about to get cut off because
Okay.
Instagram has a timer,
Mhm.
but I'm so glad we were able to fit this in. So guys, we're going to end this live. We're going to come back and go ahead and jump right into it. And our last poet will be Deja, Ms. Daylight. And these poets are going to come back.